So we just finished a review of Ocarina of Time, and after review, I'll play the game. I'm gonna do like a review of me playing the game. After I play the game, sorry. And yeah, I was at work. There's not a lot of work because again, it's vacation. And I did Ocarina of Time, and I said, fuck it, I cannot do only Ocarina of Time, I have to do Majora's Mask too, because Majora's Mask is my favorite game. Majora's Mask was such a dark game. As a kid, I fucking hated Majora's Mask. It was such a dark game, but as I grew up, it became my favorite game, and there's a couple of reasons for that. There's so much theory. The game, Majora's Mask, there's so little information compared to Ocarina of Time that when you do find information, when you have theory, and I think being able to have those many theory is so cool. Is Sermina and Irules are related? Is Link dead? There's so many theory, and I think that for a game to have theory, people have to love it because they're fan theory, right? Majora's Mask was such a dark thing. You come in and you curse. You know the end, that the world's gonna end, and you're the only one that can save it because you don't know when. Okay, enough time. You have 3 days, so you have to manage your time. Majora's Mask introduced concept like the Bomber Notebook, and it's such a nice concept because you take the Bomber's Notebook and you're like, well, I can follow people, and I know the 3 days are gonna be always gonna be the same. So technically, their schedule is gonna be the same, and there's a Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask. There are those people that you have to help, those town people, right? And every time you help, well, most of the time you help one of them, you're gonna get a mask. And if you help everybody, you get the strongest mask in the game. But to get the strongest mask, you have to help people. So you can do the game and help everybody and never get the mask. And the final boss is super easy, but you know. And Majora's Mask is such a good game because, again, what if theory is introduce character in the previous game like Goron and Zora. You get to play as them, you get to play as a hero. And it's so fucking cool because, again, Majora's Mask is a game that at face value is a dark game. It's about a guy who saved the world. If you take it deeper, then you realize that you took the soul of people. Yeah, you took the soul of a Deku. Instead of the butler, you took the soul of a Goron hero. You took the soul of Miko, which was the most the most skilled Zelda guitarist, right? And you understand that they're willing to help you. And again, at face value, they're just masks that are to help you. But if you look deeper, there are people that are die tragically. And it's funny because this game is amazing. I could talk hours about the game. So when you meet those characters that you have to get the mask of, you have to do a song of healing, which is basically healing the soul, right? And by healing the soul, they are able to depart in the afterlife, and by able to depart in the afterlife, they want to help you by giving their body, right? But what is crazy is a song of healing is only a song. You get a mask. You have to help them find closure. So for the brother of the son, it's one last way to his father. For the Goron, it's saving the Goron village, is winning a race and making the son of the chief proud. For the Zoran guitarist, it's playing a concert, is making sure that his girlfriend Lulu, which was one of the male characters, is there. Majora's Mask is so fucking cool because there's also the story of Skull Kid, which is a kid that was an imp, and you can see him in Ocarina of Time. And sure, Majora's Mask is an asshole because I wanted to show the world, but at face value, again, I know I'm saying face value, it's a word I learned today. So at face value, Skull Kid is a imp who wanted to play, who was feeling lonely, and it's kind of super cool because Skull Kid was feeling lonely, and he did what he did because out of loneliness. And when the game starts, the quest that you go on a game, the quest is basically, oh, I'm missing my best friend, because again, in Ocarina of Time, you save the world, you do save the world, and the only person that kind of know what she did was Navi. So Navi, the craziest thing is a fairy. When your mission is done, she basically goes away. You can see that's in Majora's Mask. In Majora's Mask, you have another fairy, right? So Link was like, he was looking because he didn't know that the fairy died. So he was looking for it, right? And his whole quest came out of loneliness, came out of a desire to know what happened, to have trauma from the battle that you had, and nobody gives a shit, right? So it's kind of a loneliness, a different loneliness, right? So Skull Kid and Link are in the same place, and it's crazy because in the very first game you meet the Skull Kid, and you can become its friend, right? So basically what happened is, Majora's Mask is such an intense game because every single people that are saying they're just theory. Like for example, one of my favorite theory is 5 stages. We're saying that Link is dead, and there's stage of theory. There's something called the 5 stages of grief. 5 stages of grief are anger, acceptance, bargaining, and I have to look them up actually. But yeah, so the first one is anger. So in the very first place you go, very first temple is about the Deku, and the Deku are very the princess of Deku was kidnapped, and then you're like, oh well, they're very angry because the princess was face your face. They're very angry because I am so sorry. So the first stage is denial. So Link is being transformed into a Deku when he's in denial because he has to face himself. He has to live his whole life behind because he's basically a Deku kid, right? There's anger, which is the Deku. Like I said, the princess is kidnapped. They're very angry, and they choose a monkey, which had nothing to do with. There's bargaining, which is the Goron. The Goron, which is a race that love warmth. And there's the Snowfall, and the Snowfall are like, well, everybody's cold, everybody's getting iced over, and bargaining is them wanting to wait for the hero to save them because they know that the hero is going to save them. Is bargaining for time, is bargaining to survive for the hero to come. There's depression. So Lulu, which is the main Zora, if you want, she's the one with the most story. I have to get up because my feet is fucked up. Depression. She's so depressed that her boyfriend Miko that she become led that she lose her voice, right, and she lose her kids, and it's about she lost her Zora Hex, she lost her boyfriend. The last one is acceptance. Acceptance is my favorite because there's the kingdom of Ikana, which is one of my favorite place. The kingdom of Ikana is a race of warriors that want to fight. They want to fight, and they destroy themselves. Acceptance is the fact that we understand that we fucked up, we destroyed ourselves, right? The whole race of Ikana, there's nobody in Ikana, everybody's dead. And there's their own fault, and they're in acceptance of that. I think it's such a beautiful thing, you know? So yeah, so this one of the theory. The other theory is Tower of Babel, and I said that in multiple streams, but I'm going to say it again. The story that the Stone Tower was created because Termina was jealous of Hyrule. So this is a direct theory that says Hyrule and Termina are related. Termina wanted more. They wanted to prove that they're God. They're God of the giant, the four giants, right? And they wanted to say that, oh, we're gonna four giants are stronger. We attack Hyrule, and by attacking Hyrule, the goddess Ilia, which is Zelda, she threw an arrow because there's a jewel that if you shoot it with a light arrow, it turned the temple around. And what is kind of cool is that we know that Zelda has a light arrow because she gave it to us in its last game. So you're seeing a classic case of they become destroyed because they released a Majora Mask by doing that, and Majora Mask from the Twilight. Majora Mask came to destroy everything. So again, they not only destroy themselves, they destroy the world because by doing that, they released the thing that was gonna destroy the world. I don't know, I'm repeating myself, but it's so good. It's so fucking good. And again, one other point that I love about Majora Mask is they had those hero, right, which was the four giant, which was the four deity. The four deity were helping the people, and they always demanded. And by demanding, the four giants left them. So Majora Mask is such a good game because everything went to shit, but yeah, only have the people to blame, right? And Link come into a world who was destroyed himself. And this is a chance of salvation, right? And at the end of the game, he disappears, and it's such a good game because Majora Mask taught me so much. It taught me depression. It went through depression. It taught me that acceptance. It taught me on a stage 5 stage of grief. It taught me to accept myself, you know. And yeah, so there's these quests that are meaningless, but offer you like a vision. Like I said before, you have 3 days to save the world, but you have 3 days to save the people, right? And it's funny because if you do everything, you got a special cutscene, which is the wedding, which is day 4, which is everybody being happy. That's because you did that, right? So yeah, so that was a review of Majora Mask. I know there's a lot more, but I'm going to go more in depth when I'm going to be playing the game. We now have a Switch, we can play it. So know that I love you, that you matter, and peace.